Hey, this is Drew Bennett from BenSpark.com. I was planning on showing you some footage that Andrew and I did on a sponsored or a product that was provided to us for Lego Dimensions. We recorded it, we did some stuff there, but other things have come up. More important things have come up. As you probably know, I've been talking about moving and getting the house ready to move, and the urgency with that continues to get more. Um, Andrew was sick, so he was home with me all day, and so we played some Lego Dimensions together. We played the Joker and Harley Quinn 2-pack and the Simpsons level. He loves The Simpsons for some reason. Never seen an episode, but he loves The Simpsons. It's probably because they're the cartoons of the thing. Uh, but he loves them. And so we played that. And while we were playing, it went on for about 20 minutes. Yelling, screaming, expletives, doors slamming. Just, it started to get to a point where I thought something bad was going to happen. And so I called the police. I been here 5 years, put up with the neighbors for 5 years and all of their garbage. Today's the first time I thought to call the police, and I did. And since our house is so close to their house, you can hear everything. And I know when the police showed up, they gave them a hard time. Not the police, the people. Why, all this, and the kind of people who it's never their fault, not going to take responsibility for anything. So, whether it did any good whatsoever, I doubt it. But I appreciate our police force doing that, going by to check it out, because I really thought something was going to happen. And, I didn't want that to, I don't like the people, but I didn't want anybody to get hurt. So, anyway. So that gives me a lot of feelings to get the house ready to, to move and everything. And yesterday I was over at my uncle's place. He's selling a house, and that's why I have all the camera equipment out there. So that the house is actually kind of out in the woods. Perfect for me, away from people. I like everybody online. I just don't like living next to what I'm living next to. I'm not very social overall, and there are times when I am, but for the most part I'm not. So a house in the woods is really good for me. So I went there, and I wanted to put security in the place. So I said I want a bunch of cameras, and I did a Ring video doorbell thing, so I can you can use my cameras and stuff, because I'm going to set them up in whatever house I'm going to go to next. But I don't, they're sitting in a box right now. Go ahead and use them. So I've got those. So I won that. I won the Arlo, and the Ring was a sponsored post that I did, just so you have the disclosure on it. Anyway, so the other thing, it has nothing to do with those other things, but it's kind of cool. If you have if you have an iPhone or an iPad or any iOS device, there was an update the other day to like 10 something. It's like 10.1 point something or whatever. It did something that annoys me. Like, now I have to push this to unlock rather than swipe, because when I swipe now it goes to this screen. That annoys me. I just want to, now I have to just put in my code, and then I can see things. But what I upgraded for was the new Swift Playgrounds, and it's very cool. I'm going to show you. This is, all right, so this is this little guy, and I'm going to run the code that I did. So I made some code to make it do something. So he's going around, and he is picking up little gems. Okay, so I wrote the code for him to do that. And I mean, my lines of code are probably no less than 20 lines. Very, very short. It's the coding language that they use for making apps. And I love coding. When I was 10 years old, I used to do all this coding in BASIC on a TI 99 4A, which was a keyboard that you connected to a television through the RFs and UHF switches. All that stuff that any of you millennials will never ever experience unless you go to some retro thing. But the screen that I was on was about a 13-inch screen, and it was black and white, and I would program thousands of lines of code to make a little guy, 8 by 8 pixels, just move his arms back and forth and make it look like he's dancing. Thousands of lines of code for that. You had to put in every single pixel and stuff like that. Now you can code. There's amazing ways to code. Kids have so many amazing ways to code now. This Swift Playgrounds is awesome. It's very cool. I've been playing through the whole thing as much as I can. So I really would like to learn more coding, like today's coding language. I really should have kept up with all that, but it was stuff that I did when I was a kid, and I really liked it. I had a lot of time. I obsessively spent a lot of time with it. When I was a kid, there weren't a whole lot of other things to do. Now, every day I come home, there's something different to do. And when I was a kid, I'd come home and I'd work on creating code. And when you were done with your program, you had to record it on audio tape, on a tape deck. And then when you wanted to use it again, you had to play it all back. And it was real time. So if you had a really long code program, you had to wait long time until it played it all back. And it sounded like when you call a fax machine by accident, that that dial-up tone, awful. But that's what it was. And it was something that I enjoyed doing, but it took forever to make those things happen. And then we moved up to an Apple IIc, and I was making it was an animation studio. So what I would do is I would take my Nintendo books, the little instruction books, and I would figure out all the little pixels for the guys and make my own kung fu karate animations on the Apple. And so I do that for a long time. And now, there's so much I could do just with my iPad. It's amazing. And so, all right, well, this is running long. It wasn't actually the direction I was going, but it's where I ended up. So this is Drew Bennett from benspark.com. You can find me on Instagram as benspark, Twitter as benspark, at facebook.com/I'm-not-a-famous-blogger, and you can find me here every day because I do videos all through 2016. Thanks for watching.